Good photography technique applies to any camera. So look, we're gonna use a phone to shoot and edit our way into these final images.
My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in.
What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV. So look, we're doing things a bit different this week. I wanted to make this video super relatable. I also love these types of challenges because it gives us a moment to kind of breathe. We get to kind of escape from all the different gear and just focus purely on technique. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna not only shoot with the iPhone, and I have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Really the main benefit is the additional lenses. So any iPhone or any Android phone is gonna work. I would recommend getting the nicer models because this should be your advanced point and shoot that you always have with you. But we're gonna use this. We're not only gonna shoot the images, but in each scene, we're gonna edit right there on location inside of Lightroom Mobile. I'm gonna show you how easy good images can be. Let's introduce our lovely model. This is Elisa. You may recognize her from past videos. We will link her up. I know what you're thinking. Their first comment, find an attractive, step one, find an attractive model. Get over yourselves, okay? We're gonna get started. In each of these scenes, I'll be screen recording on my phone so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. I'm gonna start with kind of the basic walk-up shot, and then we're gonna work our way into something a little more interesting. Let's go to shot number one. We wanna create a badass photograph, okay? Elisa, I want you to stand right there. I'm gonna show you kind of what not to do first. So I'm gonna kind of just center up Elisa. We're gonna go for the standard walk-up shot, and we'll take this photograph of Elisa. Okay, so we do have a few things going for us. We have the kind of walls of this are sort of framing Elisa, but it's not that interesting of an image. So what I have in a scene like this is this super cool barb fencery going on right here. And Elisa's already in this outfit that kind of looks edgy. So I'm gonna pair the outfit with this background. And what you're gonna do, Elisa, is I want you to kind of stand and just lean against the fence for 1 second. Okay, I kind of like the private property sign right next to it. I feel like it adds a little bit of flavor to it. So Lisa, don't do anything quite yet. You guys might notice quite often in my TikToks, I'll actually reverse the phone. The only reason for this is because the lenses are at the top of the camera, right? So all I'm trying to do is get the lenses closer to the ground. Now at a certain point, it becomes easier just to rotate the phone to get the lens lower to the ground or to any object like down here. I don't need to go that low for this particular shot, okay? So I'm just gonna sit down onto the ground, and this angle is gonna give my subject a sense of presence over the frame. But I don't wanna shoot quite yet. You'll notice that I'm actually framing her kind of right on that third, and it's in a nice space where we have blue sky kind of directly behind her, right? So now, Elisa's gonna go into the next piece. We're gonna actually open up her stance. She's gonna lean back against the fence and kind of give us a little bit of a badass pose to kind of match the scene and everything. Now notice one other thing, the light is actually coming from this left side. So if Elisa looks towards that side, we get this beautiful light right on her face. Before I take the shot, I'm gonna lock focus and I'm gonna pull up on the exposure. So to do that, you press and hold on the screen. We're gonna pull up on the exposure so I can get this entire scene just a little bit brighter, get Elisa's face just a little more lit, and there it is. Okay, we're gonna take this shot right here. Now, Elisa, you can go ahead and just move the pose a little bit. All those are awesome. So now, you guys can actually see the shot. Mikey, why don't you come on over here because I'm gonna edit this right on the phone, and so they don't think there's any sneaky deaky stuff going on here. Let's pick one of these photographs. Elisa, why don't you come over and help us?
Yeah.
I kind of dig this one. I love so this one's cool, but the extra shape in the leg on this one's awesome.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah? Okay, so we're gonna press this little button. We're gonna send this right over to Lightroom. I'm gonna say launch Lightroom now. Now what I would recommend is that basically when you're working inside of Lightroom Mobile, it's a good idea to have your presets installed on desktop so they appear inside of Lightroom Mobile. So if you install any presets in Lightroom CC, they will appear on Lightroom Mobile. I'd recommend using presets when you're using Lightroom Mobile because it's a little bit difficult to go through each of the different categories right here on the phone. So start with a preset. Now I'm gonna be using Visual Flow's, we'll actually use the mood pack for this one. So these are designed for lighting condition. So I'm gonna select soft light because there's quite a bit of soft light on her face. And now all we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to light, adjust the exposure up a little bit. So I'm looking at her skin tone, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop in a selective little radial filter. We're gonna reverse it and turn the feather up, and all I'm gonna do is pull down on the exposure outside. So we're kind of creating a nice little natural vignette that pulls right into her. Now I'm gonna look at the brightness of this and just make sure that everything is good, but really it's already done. I'm gonna kick up the clarity just a little bit. And there we go. All we do is we export it to the camera roll, and now we can see the first final image. So you guys at home can actually see this right there on display, but here was the walk-up shot. So this is the walk-up shot. This was our final image. That's shot number one. So easy, so incredibly simple. We're just using a few different techniques. To summarize those, we're kind of matching the clothing to a background that's sort of edgy and it fits the vibe. We're then lowering down the camera to give her presence over the frame. Then we're adding a pose that kind of adds that little bit of extra sense of attitude into the shot, where again, you know, if she were to kind of do a more soft and feminine kind of pose for this, it wouldn't quite match and fit what we're going for. Then we pair it with an editing effect that's again a little bit more on that kind of moody cinematic vibe, and we get the final image. Let's go to technique number two. So one of the cool thing about using the phone to shoot is its size. So just the size itself lets us create things that we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. See, the lenses are so small that I can actually fit them into places like right here, and I wouldn't be able to do this shot with any other camera. So there's certain things that we can do with a phone that just wouldn't be possible otherwise. So what I'm thinking for this is I kind of want to slip this through, and I want to use portrait mode and see if I can't get Elisa to kind of be visible right through these forward rings right here. Okay, so Elisa, what you're gonna do is lean up against this side and maybe kind of give me like a pose like this, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna use portrait mode and I'm gonna slide this right through the fence, okay? And now we can essentially create this frame of Elisa. Now, if I need her to move, I can move her, or I can simply get closer as well. So Elisa, what I'm gonna do now this shot actually looks cool just by itself. So if I wanted to get this shot, I could do this as well. I'm gonna shoot this one right here. Lean against the fence a little bit, right there. And bring the hand down actually. Okay, that's nice. But now we're gonna kind of push in. And then Elisa, you're gonna come forward a little bit. Keep coming, right there. Keep coming a little bit more, right there. Now, lean the head out just a little bit. We're gonna get that focus right there. Tilt the chin a little bit this way. Okay, I dig that. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. We're gonna take this in and edit this. Let's do a final edit on this guy. Let's go presets. I'm gonna go mood. And let's actually do black and white on this one. I love that. Okay, and then let's just adjust. So I think all I'm gonna do is just pull in that exposure again. So kind of bring in another graduate filter right over her. I'm gonna reverse, kind of pull in the exposure just a bit. And then from here, exposure looks good. We're just gonna add a bit of contrast and maybe a little bit more clarity. And that's it. Is that cool?
That's awesome. I love it.
Okay, so that's one of the fun things about the phone is the ability to get these lenses into these spots that just would not be possible otherwise. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier is just make sure that you're always wiping your lenses between shots, and especially before a shot. If you notice that you get that haze, it's usually a little bit of oil that's left over from your fingers or something on the lens. So it's very common, and just make sure you wipe it off. If you're super sensitive about it, you know, use a lens cloth, whatever you like. Let's do one other technique. So we're just gonna go down here. Now, I could just kind of take a shot of Elisa standing right here, and it would look good. Like the light's already good. We have a couple things that are kind of going for us right now, right? So Elisa, step over this way a little bit. So you'll notice that we have this nice bounce coming off this wall, and the light looks really nice, but we can do a few things to make it look better. So what we're gonna do is actually step over just to this side. So the light is now coming directly through, and you can see it landing on me. If I move Elisa a little bit towards me, I can actually use that light as a hair light while also using the background. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna use that hair light, and now I'm gonna flip into portrait mode, and we're gonna kind of zoom in on the shot a little bit. Okay, so let's get a little bit back. What I wanna do is get to an angle where I can see both legs. And Elisa, you have a little bit of stuff on the hips. So I want to crop kind of not, well, let's see, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. So if Elisa kind of gives me a strong pose with like the legs a little bit opened, what I don't want to do is crop right here at the hip. It's not going to look terrible per se, but we're cropping in a place where the hips are widening out. What we want to do is show where the legs kind of narrow, or crop where we can see the space between the legs, right? So what we're going to do is just kind of step back a little bit. I'm going to lower myself down. And now, Lisa, what you're going to do is brush the hair so we kind of get the hair all cleaned up. There you go. And now, okay, so check these out. We get to such a much more interesting place with just that little adjustment. So look at the first shot. This was the first one. Check this out. Here's the first. Here's the second. Isn't that wild?
Wow.
Just that little bit of a hair light.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love it.
I like this one. Should we edit that one?
I love that.
Okay, let's take this one in. Launch Lightroom. Okay, let's go ahead and go presets. I'm gonna try the pastel. And we're gonna see if we want pastel or if we want mood. You guys, come on through, guys. You're good, go on through.
No, you mind if I just watch for a little bit?
Um,
I'm not gonna be like off the wall.
okay.
Right? I'm just trying to keep going.
Okay, so we're gonna do, we actually have the modern pack now available in mobile. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna just turn down the light a little bit. And then we're gonna add that same vignette. So I'm gonna brighten the skin just a bit. And then we're gonna go right here. Do you mind if I just watch for a little bit? I don't know if you guys saw that. That's awesome.
Wow.
Okay, that's it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna export to camera roll. All right, so that's it. Here are our final images. And as you can see, we shot them all, edited them all right here on the phone while in the alley. You guys have such a powerful tool right in your hands, and all the great videos that are going up onto Adorama teaching you photography technique, well, most of them can be applied to any device, including your phone. So grab whatever you got, go and create no matter what. If y'all enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to comment below, let us know what you think, subscribe to the channel, be sure to turn on notifications because there's tons of great videos going up every single day. In the meantime, I'd love for you to follow Elisa. We will link her up. You guys can also follow me at PyJirsa, and if you want to learn more about those presets, we'll link them up too. They are from Visual Flow. That's it for us. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.